This powerful new moon in Taurus is bringing a much needed and huge shift in energy. Welcome back to JKerniferAstrology. I'm Jenny Kern, and I'd like to welcome you to our community of cosmic collaborators, where we discuss topics like manifestation, the law of attraction, and personal transformation through the medium of astrology. Today, we'll be discussing the new moon at 28 degrees of Taurus on Friday, May 19th at 11:53 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be focusing on its themes and how to work with the energy. The new moon is the first lunar phase in its cycle when 0% of the moon is visible. This is because the moon and sun are aligned in the same part of the sky or universe. So the moon isn't able to reflect the light of the sun in a way that we can see it. This phase happens once every 29 and a half days on average. And since it's the first lunar phase and an alignment of the sun, our soul's core expression and mission, and the moon, our comfort-seeking nature, new moons represent new beginnings and an opportunity to plant seeds of intention for things you'd like to manifest during the next 6 months. New moons plant the seeds, while full moons represent completion. You'll find completion 6 months from now under the full moon lunar eclipse at 5 degrees of Taurus on October 28th, 2023 at 4:24 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 5 degrees of Taurus, where this full moon lunar eclipse will occur 6 months from now, a completion of the seeds you're planting today, is precisely where this Mercury retrograde through Taurus just finished. Now moving forward ever so slowly through its 2-week post-retrograde shadow period through June 3rd. The number 5 in numerology is the master of change. It represents the energy of Mercury, and it's known for its ability to go with the flow and adapt, especially adapting to various environments and social situations. This new moon is special for many reasons. Being in the sign of Taurus means that we're planting seeds and intentions that are directly tied to what we want and need to bring more peace, balance, security, harmony, and abundance into our lives. We're beginning by appreciating what we already have, especially as it relates to the home that we all share, planet Earth. It's coinciding with Jupiter's Cazimi, or rebirth, Jupiter in Taurus as of May 16th, 2023 to May 25th, 2024, a new year journey that we'll explore a little more in depth later on in the video. The new moon is happening on a Friday, which is Venus Day, in the sign of Taurus, which is ruled by Venus. The name for Friday comes back to the origin of Frigg, who was Odin's wife in Nordic mythology and associated with the Roman goddess of love and beauty, Venus, who the planet Venus is named for, and in Greek the equivalent being Aphrodite. Frigg was known as the White Goddess, the goddess of love, beauty, peace, harmony, and transformation. The color white symbolizing nothingness, or the absence of color, purity, innocence, eternal love, and freedom. Think of the white rose. My name, Jennifer, also means pure, or white one, fair and yielding, which comes from Welsh for Gwennifer, modern to Guinevere. How ironic that my ruling planet is Venus. I wonder if my brother knew that when he named me. Whenever we have a transit in a sign, so Taurus, I like to look to its ruler, Venus. So where's Venus? Venus is at 12 degrees of Cancer, in mutual reception, partnership, cahoots, with this new moon in Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus rules both Taurus and Libra, while the moon rules over Cancer energy. When the two trade rulers, it's called mutual reception or partnership, meaning that they're working very closely together. The moon is not only comfortable in the sign of Taurus, but exalted here. Because of Taurus's love of beauty, harmony, balance, and stability, allowing our emotional and intuitive comfort-seeking nature, the moon, to thrive here. On the shadow, watch for overindulging in sensory pleasures, stubbornness due to its fixed nature, and difficulty accessing and or expressing deeper emotions. It may not admit it has them. This is a super rare 7 placement stellium in Taurus. Remember, a stellium is 3 or more placements within a sign or house. This means there's a huge focus on Taurus energy. Taurus energy representing peace, stability, security, grounding, presence, consistency, our resources, especially our money, our food, our energy, and Gaia, or Mother Earth, and how we treat it, our agriculture, land ownership, and it has ties to weather and natural disasters. The planets involved in the 7-placement stellium include Jupiter, expansion, luck, wisdom, and abundance, now at 0 degrees of Taurus, our north node of fate and destiny, and Mercury, our conscious, logical, or aware minds. The 3 of those fused together, working very closely together. We also have Vesta and Uranus in close conjunction within 5 degrees of each other at 14 and 19 degrees further on in the sign. Vesta electrifying the situation, representing our internal passion and flame that drives us, and Uranus representing sudden change and revolution, throwing us curveballs that ultimately serve to liberate us from stagnation, especially in the sign of Taurus, who's particularly resistant to change due to change threatening the very security and stability it prides itself upon. We have the moon and sun in conjunction with Uranus, our comfort-seeking nature and our soul's core expression and mission fused together with these sudden changes. These planets are all involved what's called a grand fixed cross, which is a deeply stubborn pattern of aspects with a dogged determination and tenacity of spirit. Leading the grand fixed cross, we have Jupiter expansion, north node of fate and destiny, and Mercury, our conscious logical minds, fused together, opposing the south node at 2 degrees of Scorpio, which is representing our karmic fate and what we're collectively shedding or leaving behind, which in the sign of Scorpio means we are shedding the shadow of Scorpio. Any misuse of power, any deceit, any manipulation, those, in opposition to one another, are in a square or putting intense pressure on our 2 deliverers of karma, which are now working in opposition to one another. Pluto, which brings deep personal transformation through the form of destruction, so that from the ashes the phoenix can emerge and rise stronger and better than before, directly across from Mars at 29 degrees, you got it, that plutonic critical degree of Cancer, where it's been focused on our homes, families, and security for a couple of months now. We also have the South Node working with Saturn, our karmic lessons and restrictions in Pisces, and Venus in Cancer, which is enhancing our intuition, our empathy, and our compassion, and bringing in healing. The North Node is also working in a sextile to Saturn and Venus in Cancer. We'll pause there and bring the other Taurus placements into the picture to tie it all together. With Vesta and Uranus fused closely together, and with Uranus ruling Pluto while it's in Aquarius, and Uranus also in conjunction to the Sun and Moon fused together at 28 degrees, with 28 degrees being a fame degree, representing the household name or the millionaire's degree. Whatever's happening this week and over the next couple weeks is going to be impossible to miss. These curveballs are going to be fused with our soul, our core mission, and our emotional and intuitive nature. We won't be able to dodge it. This is forming a trine to Pluto and Aquarius. So the earlier degree placements, Jupiter, North Node, and Mercury are forming a square to Pluto, but the Sun and Moon and Uranus are forming a trine working with Pluto, while Pluto is sextile to Neptune in Pisces, while Neptune is trine Mars in Cancer, while Pluto is opposite Mars in Cancer. What this all means is you can expect some wild weather. I would look out for flooding and karma delivered to homes and families, especially in the form of flooding, and especially Mars delivers karma in the form of separation. So there may be a separation from a prized home, there may be a separation from a family member, there may be a separation of something due to wild weather events and flooding. Something that throws you a curveball and forces you to pause and reflect on what you love and value. This is also forming a square to Saturn and Pisces, which brings karmic lessons and restriction. So our karma adding an extra layer of pressure. We also have Venus, the planetary ruler, involved in this new moon, representing what we love and value, our relationships, our overall value and self-worth. In Cancer, in mutual reception with the exalted moon in Taurus, trine to Saturn and Pisces, focused on home and family, security, stability, our resources, especially our food and our money, forming a square to Chiron in Aries. Our deepest soul wound, Chiron in Aries, which is tied to our overall worth and value, is in trine or working with Black Moon Lilith at 14 degrees, 41 minutes of Leo. This stood out to me because 1441 is not only a mirror number, an angel number, but a number that I see almost on the daily. Let's talk a little bit about Black Moon Lilith, and I'll tie it into the themes of what's going on here. So Black Moon Lilith represents retribution, divine payback, a primal wrong that must be avenged. Black Moon Lilith isn't an astrological body, but a geographical point representing the furthest point of the moon, our emotional, intuitive nature, comfort-seeking nature, in its elliptical orbit. It represents the unseen or the shadow feminine, power, the passion that drives us. It's named for Lilith, who was alleged to be Adam's first wife, banned from the Garden of Eden for daring to suggest the equality of men and women and refusing to submit to a life of servitude to man. She was banished for questioning authority, much like how expressing your opinion in today's culture can get you canceled. Black Moon Lilith is the archetype of the vengeful feminine that dates all the way back to the 3rd millennium BCE Mesopotamia. Lilith and similar figures appears in every patriarchal culture, and it was needed to demonize the equally creative and destructive force and power of the divine feminine. Black Moon Lilith in Leo means we're called to defend our inherent talents. Somebody along the way told us we weren't good enough or stood in our light. We're now asked to pause and ask how we've allowed others to block our gifts by giving too much stock to those opinions. Black Moon Lilith in Leo doesn't stop until it's seen. It wants to be seen for what's been done to it and how it's channeled that pain into personal power and strength. Having Black Moon Lilith trine, working closely together with Chiron, our deepest soul wound in Aries, in square to Venus, what we love and value, is putting immense pressure on our relationships and on what we love and value. You may see some triggers from our core wounding that project and play out in our interpersonal relationships. Remember that there's no need to defend or prove yourself. Let your character speak for itself. Avoid trying too hard to make someone see your inherent value and worth. If they can't see it or reciprocate, simply take your energy elsewhere. Refocus it onto you. Sadly, sometimes people have to lose something they didn't appreciate in order to see its worth and value. That's their karma, not yours. Mirror number 1441 represents self-reliance and determination, the dogged tenacity of this grand fixed cross. The number 4 representing success, stability, and satisfaction, while the number 1 representing new beginnings, wholeness, and creation. That success, stability, and satisfaction is sandwiched in between these new beginnings. And now I'll leave you with a few points on Jupiter and Taurus. So whenever Jupiter is in a sign, it's important to lean into the energy of that sign. Taurus is ruled by Venus. I'm wearing white to honor Venus. We have some crystals to honor Venus: lapis lazuli, jade, or lapis lazuli, however you like to pronounce it, and fresh flowers. You can bring fresh flowers into your home to honor Venus. Be careful about fake flowers. Fake flowers attract fake friends. And as one of my close friends from Belarus says, fake flowers are for the dead, not the living. With Jupiter being in Taurus this next year, you need to lean into the energy of Taurus. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go find you a Taurus who can model it for you. Jupiter is the planet of luck, expansion, wisdom, and abundance. Taurus energy is patient, present, grounded. It trusts the process. It's practical, consistent, hardworking, and realistic. It embodies abundance and self-worth, and it represents divine feminine, or yin, receptive energy. This next year, fortune will favor the following: consistency, hard work, patience, persistence, presence, trusting that the seeds you've already planted can and will manifest, understanding that the present moment is all we truly have, not giving too much energy to the past, which doesn't exist anymore, or the future, which isn't in front of us yet. Fortune will favor pragmatism, ensuring that what we're manifesting is not only realistic but attainable, and it'll favor the confident. Taurus energy embodies abundance. Taurus represents self-worth and value. Taurians embody this self-worth. Those who trust their value and self-worth and trust the universe, and those who understand that when they create something of value, they get value back, will be rewarded tenfold. The energies under this new moon at the beginning of these transits are going to be very challenging, but ultimately Jupiter in Taurus is here to heal your paradigms about money, wealth, and abundance. Thanks again for tuning in. Thank you for participating and helping me grow this channel. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Please let me know how this new moon is treating you and any natal placements that you find to be relevant, or any connections you have to this video at all. I love hearing from you. I love corresponding back and forth, and I love growing this channel. Please make sure you're subscribed. Notification bell is clicked and selected to all so that I can help guide you through the energies of the upcoming transits. Stay tuned, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. I hope you took something of value from this one. Here are some other videos I think you'll enjoy.